Welcome everybody, I'm Fabio Viviani and you're watching Fabio's Kitchen, where every week we'll bring you an amazing dish made by me. Today we are showing one Italian favorite meal, ravioli, fresh pasta ravioli filled with the meat filling. Unbelievable. And for add flavor, we're gonna deglaze our filling with a little bit of red wine and balsamic vinegar. Yes, balsamic vinegar. So what's needed to build the amount of flavor that we are seeking to fill our Italian fresh pasta? First and foremost, we have to use the holy trinity of Italian flavor building, which is this: onion, carrots, and celery. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get some olive oil in a really hot pan. It's gotta be very hot. Just put to the highest. Very hot pan, olive oil. An Italian amount of olive oil. Of course, we're gonna have some onion. We're gonna have some carrots. And we're gonna have some celery. Next, I wanna add a little bit of butter to help the caramelization process. Remember, butter is gonna turn brown, and that's what I'm looking for. In this case, it's a nice nutty flavor. Butter, pepper, and a good pinch of salt. Now, what I also have here, but I'm not gonna use until this is really nice and caramelized, what I have here is cheese, Italian grated cheese, in this case some grana padano. I have some cooked potatoes. Cooked potatoes, because the meat that we are using for our meat filling, it's sirloin. Sirloin is a very lean piece of beef, which I cubed to get the meaty filling kind of coming together in the pan. It's a lot of vegetable, because remember, once the meat is cooked, it's gonna kind of dry up a little bit. This is not very fatty, it's not ground beef. So here's what, that's a very lean meat, which will add a lot of texture to our filling, but you don't want to risk to have a dry filling. And baked cooked potatoes. This is just the outcome of me putting a potato in the oven and then taking the pulp out and smash them a little bit. Eggs. Then we're going to have red wine vinegar and balsamic vinegar. And we're going to have some beef stock. The greenish, yellowish top is just extra virgin olive oil that has coagulated in the refrigerator, because I always keep my stock in the fridge, all right? That is gonna get nice and caramelized. In the same time, I wanna start to get my pasta ready and rolled for the filling later. So, you all have seen my previous episode where I make fresh pasta dough, right? This is just simple, fresh pasta dough. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm adding a little flour to the counter. I'm rolling my pasta dough. Now, as far as thickness for the ravioli, I do recommend, less than a quart. That's like a couple of millimeters. It's really all you need. It's pretty thin if you think about it. Think about the size of a fettuccine or pappardelle, that kind of length, that kind of thickness. Now that I have the pasta here, it's very easy, because once the filling is ready, all I have to do is to place some filling here, fold it, and cut it. And that's it. It's game over. What I'm gonna do though, I'm gonna brush this with a little bit of egg wash. That will help the two sheets of pasta stay together and not open as you boil the pasta for cooking. Now, next step for the filling is to throw our meat inside. This is just the sirloin cubed, nothing else. Goes into with carrots, celery, and onion. Now, I'm gonna get a brush, and I'm gonna get one egg. One hand maneuver. Boom. Gonna get there eventually. By washing my dough with the egg yolk, by washing my dough with the egg wash, I kind of create a thicker layer of gooiness that it's needed when I fold my pasta to ensure that the filling doesn't go out as the pasta boils. Now, the meat in this case is nice and brown, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to add some balsamic vinegar, and I'm going to add some red wine to it. Now, when you add red wine, you don't want to add anything that you wouldn't drink. It's very important to add something where you're comfortable drinking. If it's not a good red wine, why would you add it to your food anyway? You ended up drinking it in a different way, right? Through your food or through your glass. It doesn't matter. If it's bad wine, it's bad wine. And for balsamic vinegar, just some regular, normal balsamic vinegar. You don't need to use any aged balsamic vinegar because it's just an extra expense that you don't need because it's going to mix up with a bunch of things. So here's now what we're going to do. We're going to cover this and we're going to let this sit. And once it's reduced and the meat is braised, we're going to open it up and add the rest of the ingredients. All right? Now, after about 25 to 30 minutes, the juices have completely reduced. And the meat, look at that, reduced, nice and caramelized. At this point, I'm shutting this down. I'm adding a little bit of broth to rehydrate the meat. I'm adding my potatoes to it. So here's what I want you to show. Here's what I want you to see. Look. See this meat here? It's nice and I can crush it. Now, but because it's sirloin, it doesn't crush as good as might be ossobuco would or a short ribs. It's not that buttery. This is a meat filling, all right? So you gotta have little texture there. I'm gonna add potatoes to it. I'm going to add cheese, in this case grana padano. And I'm going to add 2 eggs to it. I know I have mad chopping skills. Look at this, like chopping skills, good. Cooking skill, great. I can literally crack eggs with one hand. Woohoo! It's not a big deal, but whatever. I'm proud of it. I learned it, you know, takes a while to learn that. And I've mastered that, and I'm pretty proud of it. So here's the deal. I'm gonna heat this up one more time. And literally, guys, what this is just meat and potatoes. And who doesn't like meat and potatoes? All right, one more time. That will help cook the eggs throughout. And now, the final part, the ravioli. All right, so here's what we're gonna do. The balsamic vinegar is adding a ton of aromatic to the filling. You can almost taste the sweetness of the carrots and the caramelized vegetable. And this is what we do. Now, you could do double size, you can do them bigger, smaller, feel like four side. You can do whatever you want. I like to do them pretty big. I like to do my ravioli fairly big. So then I can grab them Now these are big, meaty ravioli. One thing you can do, the reason why I like to do them fairly big is because now, see, I can get these and roll it again. Now, when you first refold the scraps, they don't look too hot. But then, if you have patience, they're gonna start to look like this again. See? Look. Another technique there is about making ravioli is to do one longer, like this, less filling. Then you get your egg wash back. And you go like that. You fold them over. And you can do this all over again. I'm not gonna do it, but this is what we call mezzalune, half moon. See? Now at this point, if you were to make a different shape for it, you would go like this. You would get this, get it in the middle, look, and you just made a big version of a tortellini. See that? Get the edges like this. Get your finger, close it, fold the edges like this. All three with the same pasta recipe, and you can still use the scrap and keep going. And the wonderful meat filling. It's meat and potato filling, guys, come on. Fabio's Kitchen, for you, as always. You're welcome.